airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make a phone call regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. You know, the insider secret to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify existing airline reservations, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647.
Have you suffered sports betting losses? There is someone who wants to fight for you to see you get back what you have lost to those sports betting companies. Michael Watts is a prolific lawyer with over $11 million in total recoveries for his clients. And now with sportsbettingclaim.com, he'd like to help you. Michael has been a leader in some of the largest and most complex cases in the country, from defective cars and tires to damaging drugs and medical products. He has always represented the rights of individuals harmed by large corporations. His efforts recently of billions for individuals who lost their properties to fires carelessly caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulated consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at sportsbettingclaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. sportsbettingclaim.com.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful, genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome. He's a genius.
You're now listening to the Rick Tittle Show. Good for you.
Thank you for that, and welcome to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast, around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. It's great to have you with us, wherever you are listening. And if you're watching, it's always hard to get it just right because the YouTube is weird. But I'm on twitch.tv and streaming on YouTube. Just look for Sports Byline. I think on YouTube you look for Darren P, actually. I think that's what it says. But anyway, streaming along, guy in a hoodie wearing reading glasses is hot stuff. Hot cross buns. So come on and get heard. 1-800-878-PLAY as we start off with open lines. What's going on in your sporting world? For me, I went to the Shark Tank last night. The SAP Center. It's been called a few things over the years. It's now called the SAP Center. And it was the first game back since the Olympics for the Sharks. And it was a raucous crowd. But unfortunately, the Sharks lost their fifth game in a row. And to come out, and Macklin Celebrini got a big ovation. There was no thing like where he came out and skated around with his silver medal. I didn't think he would do something like that anyway. Remember, he's not super psyched to get that silver medal. Normally you would be, but when you're the Canadian men's hockey team and you feel like you should win the gold, and you maybe even feel like you deserve to win the gold, and then you don't, probably not too excited about the silver. But the Sharks actually looked really good against Calgary until the third period, and I will say, and I've been going to Sharks games these last, forever, but these last 5-6 years where they've been bad, it might have been the worst period I've ever seen them play. Now, they gave up 3 goals and lost 4-1, and one of them was an empty netter. So they really only gave up 2 goals at full and equal strength. But it was the most clunky, rusty, 2 guys in the same spot. One time Celebrini passed it back to the point. There was nobody on the point. That guy was standing next to him, sort of behind him. And it looked like not only guys who had never played together before, it looked like guys who had never played together before, who sucked at hockey. I mean, it was just the weirdest thing. And then Dickinson got it, Sammy Six, I'm trying to start the nickname. And he just shoots it down the ice for an icing as if he's in a PK, and he's not. And guys bumping into each other, and a ridiculous goal where guy flips it out in front of his own net, and the Calgary guy just kind of in slow motion just kind of goes around the goalie and puts it in a net. And I wrote down the name Liljegren and Klingberg. They looked horrible. And right about that minute, I have this little hockey texting group, and my cousin was like, Liljegren and Klingberg look awful. And I said, you know what? I literally just wrote down those two names. And he said they'll probably both be gone for third-round picks coming up. And that's true. The trade deadline is still out there. And I do think that Greer was correct, the GM of the Sharks, former player. He was known as Greerzy during that time. Greerzy did not trade Michael Misa for Panarin. It's not time to be giving up the second overall pick for a rental. That would be really stupid. That would be really stupid to do that. It's sort of like when Billy Beane gave up Addison Russell to get John Lester, and John Lester sucked in the playoffs and then left, and then Addison Russell hit a grand slam, and the Cubs, in the World Series for the Cubs, they won the World Series. Now, Addison Russell is out of sports for a good reason. His wife came out and said, of course he cheated on me. He's a ball player, but he also beat me up here. And then she wrote another public message saying, and he also beat me up at this time too. And so he became persona non grata, as he should. But I digress. Just going back to the tank and having it rocking. If this tank's rocking, don't bother knocking. Going up in the catwalk. See, what happened was when they built the Shark Tank, and they were building it when the Sharks came in. The Sharks played the first few years at the Cow Palace in Daly City, which still looks exactly the same, inside and out. You know, they had a Democratic National Convention there. They had a basketball national championship there. There's a lot of stuff that's gone on there. Now they have Punk in the Park and the Dickens Fair. It's no longer a lot of cows, but that's what it was. I mean, they do have a rodeo there, but anyway, digressing again. When they were building the tank, they basically got all done, and they said, what do you think? And the TV people came in, and they were like, do you want any of these games televised? I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, you didn't build any camera wells. We didn't. No. And where's the press box? What's a press box? Ugh. So they're like, all right, well, we need to take out a whole section of your luxury boxes. And the Sharks are like, no. We'll take out some seats for your cameras. We'll do that. We're not taking out luxury boxes. You guys go up in a catwalk. And they're like, okay. Now, over the years, the TV guys they took out a couple extra seats and got them down. But the radio people, the visiting TV, is all up in the catwalk. And it's kind of cool. I literally can walk wherever I want up there. Sometimes I'll circumnavigate the whole ice just looking down. There's one place where you set up your computer or your Coke or your wings, whatever you're eating, and just with the back of your hand, a little wave, you knock them down onto the people below you. It's not super safe. I usually sit away from most people. You go like a little around the catwalk a little bit near one of the spotlights, and it's where the healthy scratches for the other team sit. And there's usually guys kind of giving me like a weird look, and I have my credential, and I kind of wave. Yesterday, the healthy scratches are usually in a box. They're not usually up there. And the healthy scratches in hockey they all look like Armani models. I'm not kidding. They're all in their like mid-20s, and they're wearing, Italian suits, and they're super fit, and, they're world-class athletes. And then I'm sitting there and going, "Hey guys." But anyway, it was cool to get back to the tank. It was cool to see Celebrini, but yeah, that third period. Now I know that most of the Sharks didn't go to the Olympics. Only 4 did. Khrushchev, Regenda, Wenberg, and of course Mac. The rest went on vacations, and I know they came back for a skate. They needed more than a skate, because I don't know how many Calgary Flames went to the Olympics, but the Sharks looked like they were complete strangers. In the third period, which was weird, you would kind of think it'd be the other way. Like the first period, it's like, "Who are you? Oh, you're going to be over there? Oh, all right, well, I'll be over here." And then by the third period, you're like, "Oh, yeah, I remember how we do this now." And it was the opposite. It was like, "Woo, like riding a bike, baby." And then the third period, it's like, "Wait, I forgot your name. What number are you?" And also seeing Sherwood wear 44, I just think of Rags every time I see 44. Marcus Ragnarsson. All right, that's what I did last night. What'd you do last night? Girl, come on back and let's talk some sports.
Keep listening for details on how to get up to $300 airline credit. Sky Holidays introduces a one-of-a-kind air credit program. Our buying team got a little too aggressive in getting hotel and air deals, so now we have to liquidate our prices. Here's how. Whether you want to go to Paris, Las Vegas, London, Atlanta, Hawaii, or anywhere else in the world, we have amazing deals. Book a selected hotel and we'll give you up to $300 airline credit. Now you can book your vacation and get a free credit to use towards airline travel. We'll book both, airline and hotel, with one simple phone call. We have access to most airlines and deals on thousands and thousands of places to stay. Call right now, book your hotel rooms, claim your airline credit. You can change or modify it at any time. 800-256-4816. 800-256-4816. That's 800-256-4816.
Sometimes life changes, and the house you once loved becomes a burden. Too many repairs, too many memories, too much to handle on your own. If you'd like to sell your home fast, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline. We can help you sell your home as is. No cleaning, no showings. And there are absolutely no hidden fees or real estate commissions. We'll pay you a fair price for your home in cash. Whether you're downsizing, handling an estate, or just ready for peace of mind, call us. We'll help you walk away from your problem property in no time at all and get you the cash in your bank account with little hassles. If you'd like to sell your home fast, as is, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline.
Call Want to Sell Your Home now for a free quote to sell your home in any condition. Call 800-950-3143. 800-950-3143. That's 800-950-3143. Do you have a book? Get it out of your mind and make it a real book with a free guide to book publishing. Trying to publish a book yourself can be complicated. It takes a lot of time. Time that you could spend writing your book, or even more books. Do what you do best. We can do the rest. Thousands of authors across the nation have trusted our book publishing service. We have the connections to help you get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores nationwide. We can do it faster than you can on your own. Get your free guide to publishing. It's a free phone call. Remember, make this free call right now and learn how to turn your book into something real that people can buy. Get your free writer's guide. Call right now. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. That's 800-482-8399.
I hope I don't see you for a while. Getting sick of you.
Take your sick ass in the hospital.
I don't want to walk around with you. I don't want to walk around with you. I don't want to walk around with you. So I don't want to walk around with you. I don't want to walk around with you. I don't want to walk around with you.
Rick Tittle can usually be found at He Baby Mama House.
Thanks for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. It's our pleasure to welcome to the show Liam Vincent. He is the director of the new adaptation of Macbeth, which has been written by Migdalia Cruz. This will be over at the Magic Theater at Fort Mason in the Marina. It's going to begin on Saturday, March 21st. And run through April 5th. Liam, welcome to the show. Just wondering if you ever tried the French thing and been Liam Vincent?
I have actually, and thanks for having me on the show. When I was growing up, people had a hard time with Liam because I'm in my 50s, and that was not a name that people knew. So a lot of people called me Vincent when I was growing up, or Vinny. But I will sometimes try to pass myself off as Vincent.
I remember, I'm a little older than you, and I remember first time I heard Liam, I was like, Ian? And Liam. I'm like, Ian. No, Liam. Now every little kid is named Liam or Aiden.
Yeah, or Ethan. I live across the street from elementary school, and I hear people screaming the name Liam nonstop. So... Yeah, well, thanks for having me on.
Yes, well, let's talk about Migdalia Cruz's version of Macbeth. How is the milk of human kindness different in this one?
Well, she's there's a company called Play On, and they give grants for living rights to take a Shakespeare play and quote unquote translate it. And I think that Migdalia, like myself, loves the Shakespeare Macbeth. So it's not that radically changed. What it is cut down a lot. It's 95 minutes. We're doing it without an intermission, which means a lot of murders in a short amount of time. So that's fun. And then it's updated and set in New York City in the 1970s. So it is, there's a lot of the language is the same, but it is definitely cut down, and I think edited in a way that makes it accessible for modern audiences. I think she got rid of some of the language and some of the scenes that are hard to follow. So hopefully everybody can kind of go see this play. You don't have to be a fan of Shakespeare. If you are, you'll connect with it. And if you aren't, you will hopefully still have the kind of wild, witchy, murderous ride that is Macbeth.
Well, so instead of fair is foul and foul is fair, you say what comes around goes around?
Yes. Yes, karma is, I won't say the word on air, but I think you know where I'm going with this. We actually kept fair is foul. So that's the thing with this, the really good, famous stuff, you don't want to get rid of because it works. There's no reason to take bubble, bubble, toil, and trouble and translate it. So it was just some of the, in the original Shakespeare, there are all these lords like Menteith and Angus, and it just gets really complicated. So it was kind of a paring down of the stuff that we felt we didn't really need in play. But it's a really great balancing act that she did, because you don't want to use any language that's going to stick out or take the audience out of it, but then you want to make sure that everything that's being said might be a way that we would communicate in 2026.
I know some students of literature argue just how many phrases and words Shakespeare did invent, and there are dozens and dozens. But I always find it interesting when I see a Shakespeare play, and I was actually in one when I was much, much younger, but I'm always interested when I, like Macbeth, by the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. And I'm like, oh, that's where that came from. You know, you just hear these things and you're like, oh, okay, I didn't know the first part, but I know the second part.
Yeah, there's so many things that we Love Is Blind and In a Pickle, Up in Arms. There are just tons of them where I keep with bated breath. There's so many things that Shakespeare kind of invented that we kind of still full circle. The expression "full circle," that's all Shakespeare, and we use it all the time. And when you go and see a Shakespeare play, especially one like Macbeth, which is full of famous lines, it's fun to kind of remember, oh, okay, that's where that came from.
All the world's a stage. I mean, we can go on and on with these things. So for you, when you're directing, and as you say, walking the fine line between let's stay true to it, but then again, Shakespeare in modern dress, modern, location as well. Did you ever say to Migdalia, it's like, we need a little more of the modern, or actually this is going off the rails and now it doesn't look like Macbeth anymore?
I think I was the person that said it in. She kind of updated the language, and then I was trying to figure out where to set Macbeth. And that's the fun part of being a director, is you kind of get the power to do that. So I chose the 1970s New York City location. And then I got really lucky because we've been working on this for a year. She didn't go back and change, she didn't change places from places in Scotland to say, like, Nostrand Avenue, but she then kind of rewrote it with an eye to how do we keep it a little bit more modern. So yeah, it has been kind of a fun balancing act with that. And the other twist is Macbeth is being played by Catherine Castellanos, who's a woman, and we decided to specifically make Macbeth a woman. You know, sometimes you see a play and it's kind of, you've cast a woman in a man's part, but no one really wants to commit to, like, okay, well, is she a man? Who is she? Like, what? How does the character identify? And we thought, let's keep Lady Macbeth a woman. Let's make Macbeth a woman. They will be a gay couple, and let's see what happens in this situation. Because there's a lot of arguing between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. Of, if you don't go through with this murder, you're not a man. You need to act like a man, and you need to go in there and you need to kill the king. And when you have a man and a woman playing that scene, you've got a Lady Macbeth who's kind of saying these really emasculating, goading Macbeth into going to this murder. When you have two women kind of doing that scene, especially like two women who are a couple, you hear it in a completely different way. Which has just been like a lot of the arguments or in the play that you have that's Macbeth is this 12th century, good dude, and then he's got this like evil wife. When you kind of remove that situation, it's been really interesting to hear all kind of new stuff in the play, if that makes any sense.
Yes. Last question for you. Now, New York in the 70s was a little bit of a hellhole. Times Square was the porn industry. You had the blackouts. You had Son of Sam. You had Ford saying "Go to hell." I mean, it's kind of a cool little, bouillabaisse of crime and such things, right?
That's I start the show with the blackout. That's exactly the very first moment of this Macbeth, and Macbeth has to take place in a violent hellhole. And Shakespeare sets it in 12th century Scotland, which is kind of a violent, lawless place. I was in New York during that. He had gone bankrupt. There was a garbage strike. It was this kind of, the movie The Warriors. It's that kind of dystopian hellscape. So 12th century doesn't really mean anything to us. But that's why and Migdalia, who's 10 years older than me, was in the Bronx at that time in New York City. I was in Manhattan and Brooklyn at that time in New York City. So it's been really fun for us to kind of do, and Times Square was for real. That was not a Disney playground in 1977. And yeah, when the lights went out in New York City, if you were on inside, that was on you. So it's been really fun too. And you can probably take a guess at kind of what profession the witches might be if you think about New York in 1977. So it's really going to be fun. That is the thing, is I think people hear Shakespeare and they think, yeah, all the beautiful language is there, but Macbeth should be entertaining. And I think that a 95-minute, really wild ride through New York City, 1977, with witchcraft and with murder, should hopefully be fun.
And this time it's Macbeth, come out to play. Everybody go to magictheater.org to get your tickets. Once again, the new version of Macbeth, written by Migdalia Cruz and directed by our guest, Liam Vincent. It will begin March 8th through April 5th over there at Fort Mason at the Magic Theater. Liam, congratulations on it, and thanks for coming by.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right, good stuff. My cousin, about 10 years ago, he's one of these guys that does local theater, and I went to go see him in Sacramento play Macbeth, the real thing, and they told him, can you lift weights? Macbeth is supposed to be strong. And he was like, okay. Let's take a break. Get on back on Sports Byline.
Army with harmony. Dave, drop a load on 'em.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Sponsored by Specialty Medical. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. That's 800-913-9739.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you from Senior Care USA. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. That leaves your loved ones the burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay your family up to $30,000 to help pay for your funeral and other expenses. There are no medical exams. Your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled, regardless of your medical conditions, as long as you make your premium payments. Get up to $30,000 in final expense insurance. Call now for free information. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. That's 800-399-6879.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work. Real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. That's 800-219-2494.
Love Vince Guaraldi, and that sounded like kind of like Christmas time on like a little Casio there. That was an interesting cut, and we're here to talk about just that because we are very pleased to welcome back to the show Shawn Mendelson, of course, the son of the great record producer Lee Mendelson, and we're here to talk about celebrating 75 years of Vince Guaraldi music, and through a couple of special releases. It's Arbor Day, Charlie Brown, the soundtrack, and Charlie Brown's All-Stars. This is going to be available on March 20th on vinyl CD and digital, 2 soundtracks on 1 album, and also a exclusive release of a 10-inch clear baseball 45 RPM of It's Arbor Day, Charlie Brown, a 12-inch die-cut glove-shaped 45 RPM LP of the Charlie Brown All-Stars. That'll be available on April 18th as well. Shawn, welcome back to the show. Busy times, huh?
Yes, thanks for having me back, Rick. It's been a pleasure. The last time I was able to speak with you, and I'm particularly happy to speak to you, being a sports guy from St. Mary's, because you just mentioned Charlie Brown All-Stars and It's Arbor Day, Charlie Brown, and these are the most baseball-centric plot shows for Charles Schultz and the Peanuts crew. And the music fits the sound. So it's what we're excited about is you just mentioned March 20th and April 18th are the 2 release dates. And it's the beginning of the baseball season. And what better way to celebrate baseball than with Charlie Brown, who gets rained out at the end of both of these Peanut specials.
You know, it's sometimes when you have a genius at creating content, story, and art, then you add in the music. I kind of think about, like, Star Wars, the people there, and getting John Williams, adding it to Raiders of the Lost Ark, whatever. And then Vince Guaraldi is a genius, and you got Charles M. Schultz as a genius. It's just amazing that these two, they would have been super famous without each other, but it's just a perfect combo, isn't it?
Well, and one of the things that I'm always excited about sharing with people, when I think back, because I've been analyzing not just the music, but my dad's legacy as the producer of all the Peanuts specials from their inception, is that these men, Vince Guaraldi, the musician, the composer of the first 15 Peanuts scores, Charles Schultz, everybody knows, we call him Sparky, Bill Melendez, the animator, and our dad, Lee Mendelson, they kept the band together through the whole thing, all the way up to each of their successive passings. They were able to be a creative force and work well and make really great art. That it's not lost on me how hard it is to keep the band together, so to speak. And so they obviously tapped into something, and it was a communal bond, and they loved what they did, and it showed.
Why do you think of all the cartoons and the little panels, and still we have the Sunday funnies, that Peanuts was able to resonate worldwide? I remember when I was in Germany in the 70s, and they called them the Little Radishes, and I was like, what? Whatever. I guess they don't want to call them the Erdnüsse. But what do you think it is about Snoopy and Charlie Brown and Linus and the whole gang that just really hit a nerve with all the other cultures outside of America?
Well, I'm going to answer the question by saying that I'm also a children's music artist, and the reason I started doing it is because I was kind of getting sick of the Barney and everything, pandering. And what I think Charles Schultz did with his comic strip 75 years ago, and then with the TV specials, is he tapped into a pathos where he appreciated children, where the adults get the wah wah wah, and we just get to hear the psyche of a child, and it's not just frenetic, it's not chaos, it's sadness, it's happiness, it's all the things that are relatable and universal. And I think he just tapped in that pathos, and Vince Guaraldi's music. You were just playing at the head of this section of your show with me and one of our new tracks off of It's Arbor Day, Charlie Brown, and you mentioned Casio, it's a Fender Rhodes. I'd have to be very clear about it from my historical perspective. But that music, it puts you either in a most peaceful, serene mood, like everybody knows Charlie Brown Christmas, but all these other albums, we've released 9 in the last 3 years, if you can believe that, Rick. It can put you in. We all need escape, right? And we all need joy. And for the most part, it provides joy. But he's also not afraid to create a score that is simpatico with melancholy or sadness. And I think that's why it's lasted so long. That's why these melodies are so timeless, because it's dynamic and it's not just one thing.
Well, just getting back to the Christmas Time is Here, because there's 2 tracks. There's one with the kids chorus. I was talking to a friend, this was years ago, and it was during Christmas, and I just had the album on the CD. And I think the acapella or the music only version of Vince, Christmas Time is Here, is the most relaxing song ever recorded, in my opinion.
I agree. And I will say they purposely made those children a little bit off key. We were just with them we were at the Schultz Museum in December. My brother and I did a presentation for the 60th anniversary of Charlie Brown Christmas, and most of the children's choir, who are now in their 60s or 70s, were sitting there. And, I would say that that's endearing and it brings his own spark, but when you just hear the Goraldi playing his piano, like that first tune you just played, it was just him playing solo, it transports you, man. And I didn't appreciate it. I grew up around this stuff, but now that I'm going back and looking at it, I have such gratitude. I'm so grateful for the music, just as a fan, and I get to experience this right along with everybody. It's a beautiful thing.
I remember, this is all coming back to me now, but I was probably 1973. I was 8 years old, and one of the biggest laughs I ever had in grammar school at Madera School in El Cerrito, California, my friend Justin and I had the little sort of like a paperback novel-sized Peanuts book. Yeah. And there was this one thing, I forgot what it was with Snoopy, but he had a cone for a nose, and I forgot what the line was, but I remember we were rolling on the ground laughing. We thought it was the funniest thing we ever heard. So these aren't throwaway stories. They're all clever, and they hit everybody differently.
I agree. They're timeless stories. Watching these shows again, there's always the, Charlie Brown never wins, right? He misses the football. The game gets rained out. He lets people down. But in there, the hyperbolic aspect of the shows and the animation, you're laughing at him a little bit, but you're also endeared to the fact that we've all been there. And so there's that double-edged thing that was so great that Schultz tapped into,
I remember I knew a girl in college. We were talking about Peanuts. Just as another aside, another anecdote, but she said right around the same time in the early 70s, she was a little girl and she went into a petting zoo, and the goat took a bite out of her shirt, and she said it was my favorite shirt. It was Snoopy with sunglasses, and it said Joe Cool, and the goat ruined it.
Oh.
Anyway, let's talk about these two. Let's first talk about the Record Store Day, Baseball and Glove, April 18th. What's going on here, Sean?
So here's the deal. We got into the record business, Lee Mendelsohn Film Productions, our dad's company, just a few years ago. We actually, my brother and I produced It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown in 2022 to great fanfare, and they made a pumpkin-shaped album. And so there's all these things initially I shied away from, the novelty of making these albums. But back in 2024 for Record Store Day, which they have in April and November every year, we participated. We only released 1,000 of It Was a Short Summer, Charlie Brown, and we got bombarded with, what's wrong with these people? Why haven't they made enough? And so the demand, we went on a list of, like, with the Talking Heads, Olivia Rodrigo, the Beatles, and us. We're like, we're on the list for Billboard's top 10 picks of Record Store Day. So we upped the ante, and we started to join the zeitgeist. We've released a zoetrope where you see the scenes come to life. We released an Easter egg last Record Store Day. And so this one, my brother had the idea of making a glove, I think, initially, because it's never been done before, a glove-shaped, baseball glove-shaped LP. And then on top of that, we have a second LP that is a clear disc with a baseball label. And the music, there's a song called Baseball Theme on both specials. From 1966's Charlie Brown All-Stars. Right after Christmas was Charlie Brown's All-Stars. And then there's a version called Flat and Patent, but it's essentially the same thing, baseball theme. And it's Arbor Day, Charlie Brown. And it's bookends Vince Guaraldi's Peanuts music. And why it's Arbor Day Charlie Brown is so special is it's the last recording Vince made. He recorded, he wasn't feeling well that day up in the city, and he went down to a gig in Menlo Park, and he had 2 sets planned, and between the sets, he died tragically at the age of 47 on the final day of his recording session. And I would say, for my money, the most ethereal, most beautiful, if dare I say heavenly, piece of music he ever recorded is this piece called Rain, Rain, Go Away, which is also coincidentally on both these soundtracks 10 years apart. And it is not jazz, it's not classical, it's somewhere in this sort of transcendent level that you only can understand it if you listen to it. And that's, what I love about music is it can transport you.
Well, I never knew that story. That is amazing. And the other thing is, too, I mean, it's crazy that vinyl is back, but it's 2026, so I know you're in cahoots with the Arbor Day Foundation, and you're letting everybody know the CO2 savings and the renewable material and all the other stuff, right?
I can't thank you enough, because in interviews I sometimes forget to mention it. I so appreciate you bringing it up, Rick, because I'm a climate activist, and so my goal is in everything I do in my daily life and my business is to reduce my carbon footprint. And it's notorious, the manufacturing industry for vinyl, for putting a lot of plastic and CO2 in the environment. So these last few years, we've done everything in our power to create sustainable records. It's made out of cooking waste and gases and oil from the Netherlands, and made in this place called Optimal in Germany. It's called biovinyl. And all these things reduce our carbon footprint by 90%. We have the Arbor Day CDs are made out of, the majority of it's made out of reused or reclaimed water bottles and plastic. And for every purchase of the Arbor Day stuff, whether it's the March 20th Gatefold LP, which is the standard one with bonus tracks, or the Record Store Day one, $1 goes towards the Arbor Day Foundation and helps plant a tree in a place where there's need. So all of this has been really great. And on top of that, we don't lose fidelity. There was a lot of concern early on when we went green, and so to speak, it's not going to sound as good. But all the press we're getting says it sounds just as good, if not better, than the traditional plastic. So we're doing our part, and I really appreciate you bringing it up.
Pre-orders are available now. Where do we go, Sean?
Well, you can go to anywhere you get your music. You can go for the March thing. So that's the Gatefold release. It's a green 4-screen vinyl for Arbor Day, or standard black LP or CD. Those all come out March 20th with a couple extra Arbor Day bonus tracks that they didn't use in the show, which is always fascinating to me. And you can go to Amazon, your local record store. You can go to MVD, which is our distributor site. There's anywhere you can find it. But basically go to Lee Mendelson Film Productions Instagram or Facebook or website, and it'll hit you up. And then for April 18th, you have to line up in the cold, dark night at any record store that's participating and hope that you get a copy, because these things were the Easter eggs we sold last year within 24 hours. They were gone at every record store day across the country, and even in the UK. We have them in the UK this time around. So everybody try to get your baseball mitt and your baseball if you're into the novelty, or if you're just a pure audiophile, I recommend the March 20th release on CD, digital, or LP.
Well, you work in an industry or for people and a cause and content. I always say this to the Harlem Globetrotters. I interview them every year. There are no critics, and same with Vince Guaraldi and Peanuts. Everybody loves them. Sean Mendelson, thanks for your time, man, and let's catch up down the road.
Thank you, Rick. Take care and have a great rest of your weekend.
All right, I'm Rick Tittle. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on Byline.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. Show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097.
I've got a question for you. Do you want a lower car payment just by making a phone call? You know, most people buy a car and they pay whatever the car dealer says their interest rate is, and they forget about it and make payments. But did you know there is a secret in your contract that allows another company to refinance any car payment to try and lower it? It's true. There is indeed a company out there that knows the ins and, more importantly, the outs on car loans, and they know how to lower your current car payments. It's easy and fast, and you could have a lower car payment next month. Make this free call right now and find out if you could lower your existing car payment. Call the Car Savings Hotline right now. The call is free.
Call now. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. That's 800-605-1680.
Special alert for consumers struggling to pay taxes. There are new tax regulations, not published yet. We have the inside track on your new tax savings. These programs are designed to help struggling taxpayers like you. The COVID relief programs are gone, but there are new programs to help struggling taxpayers, and we have the inside track. Call now and we'll take you through these new programs. These taxpayer savings programs have never been available until now. Get out of tax trouble now. It doesn't take weeks. It can happen in one phone call. Call now and get the inside track to get rid of your tax problems.
Call the tax helpline now. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. That's 800-949-0039.
This is special too. Look, see, still got the old tagger on it. See, never even played it. See?
You just bought it?
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
I wasn't going to touch it.
No, don't touch it.
I was just pointing at it.
Well, don't point even.
Don't even point?
No, it can't be played. Never. I mean,
Can I look at it?
No, you've seen
Don't
enough
look
of
at
that
it.
one.
I'm so disgusted by Rick Tittle that I find him very intoxicating.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. And yeah, I do think it's weird that peanuts are little radishes in Germany. I've told this story before. It's like the Smurfs in Germany are die Schlumpfer. I don't know what die Schlumpfer means, actually. Wie sagt man auf Deutsch in English, die Schlumpfer? But I think my favorite in France, SpongeBob SquarePants is Bob l'Éponge, Bob the Sponge. In Germany, he's SpongeBob Schwammkopf, which means SpongeBob Spongehead. I think maybe the dumbest one in England, Dennis the Menace, is like this super buffed dude who's like a gang member, and all his clothes are shredded because his biceps are popping out, and he has spiky hair, and he wears like punk clothing and big Dr. Martens, and he's stomping around everywhere. I'm like, that's not Dennis the Menace. Dennis the Menace has nicely combed hair and lives next door to, what's his name? Smithers? I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is all foreigners are dumb. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's a joke. We got 2 more hours. Come on back.
I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning. The 2026 NASCAR season enters its third weekend, and for the most part, things are going as well as they have for the sanctioning body in what feels like a decade. 2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports' lawsuit against the sport had been a hovering black cloud in 2025 and was mercifully settled in December. In the months since the court case ended, those on all sides have finally felt comfortable enough to admit what everyone already knew, which was how much of a distraction it was. Owned by basketball legend Michael Jordan and current driver Denny Hamlin, 2311 Racing's most notable driver is Bubba Wallace, but its most valuable driver is a guy named Tyler Reddick. You've probably heard the name recently. He won the Sports Super Bowl, the Daytona 500, 2 weeks ago. And he followed that up by making a mad dash to win in Atlanta last weekend, driving a car which finished the race with no right front fender. The first guy in 17 years to start the season with back-to-back wins. And Reddick's story is one that NASCAR 2311, his manufacturer Toyota, and his own personal representation ought to be forcing more into the conversation of mainstream sports. I think he's got the talent and a story that deserves it. An outgoing personality, Reddick's a 30-year-old, 5'5" redheaded dynamo who's married to the daughter of a former Major League Baseball pitcher with whom he has 2 beautiful kids. His youngest, named Rookie, was born last May. In October, at only 5 months old, Rookie underwent surgery to remove a tumor that was affecting his lungs and chest. Reddick was not only dealing with his professional life coming to an abrupt halt if 2311 had lost the suit, but he was also going out there week after week with his heart wrenching for his family. Thankfully, everything has turned out okay for Rookie, and he's doing well. Same for his father, who never once blamed the distractions for his drop in performance last year. Reddick has brought his career Cup Series win total up to 10, and is back showing the skills and confidence that he had when he made the championship 4 2 seasons ago. Can he open this season with 3 straight wins, which no man has ever done? Well, he's won at 2 unique super speedways to open the season, and on Sunday, Reddick will be driving on a road course in Austin, Texas, which happens to be one of his best tracks. Look, I love talking about Carson Hocevar because Hocevar is a young, polarizing, and exciting driver whose prickly personality provides some extra flavor in NASCAR's mostly vanilla world. But when you have a person like Tyler Reddick, who's on the roll that he's on, I think you need to do a little more to drag the rest of the sports world into the story. I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Soccer season rolls on here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. This is Tyler Levine, host of First Touch, the premier weekly global soccer show across the entire Sports Byline broadcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Simple Radio, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. We're talking English Premier League, Champions League, our picks of the week, and a whole lot more. First Touch on Sports Byline USA Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busywork. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call, or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports.
I hate that guy.
I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. And this has nothing to do with sports, but during the break, somebody sent me this film of getting on a Airbus A330, the Etihad Airlines, and turning. It's basically about the size of a 747, but you turn left. In other words, first class in the nose of the plane. And shows the air hostess walking past about 6 little rooms to the 3-bedroom apartment. Yeah. And the door opens and there's this huge leather couch with chairs and pillows and a massive television screen. Then you go down a hallway and you can see the curve of the nose of the plane. There's a queen-size bed and another massive television. Then you turn the corner and there's a there's a bathroom that has a stand-up shower in it. And I don't know how much that would be. I would think, I don't know, 10 grand? Is that way under what it would be? I guess it depends how far you're flying, because I know it's usually round trip to Europe is about $1,000 in coach, and first class is usually about $3,000 to $5,000. Depends what airline you're on. It's at least triple, usually about 5 times more for first class. So, what is a 3-bedroom apartment on a plane? Wow. All right. Let me come back down to earth. Let me land this plane of Sports Byline USA. All right. 1-800-878-PLAY is the number to call. And we have filmmakers and film festival peeps coming up in the next 2 segments. 10:40, it looks like we'll have open lines for y'alls and your calls. And then next hour at 11:40, Quentin Lake of the Rams will join us. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new CareWatch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The CareWatch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. The CareWatch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. Call us to get your CareWatch right now.
800-853-8931. 800-853-8931. 800-853-8931. That's 800-853-8931.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Hour 2 of titillating sports. He thought it couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Hour 2 of titillating sports.
Hey, check out Channel 9. Check out Rick Tittle.
All right, check me out. Thank you for that. Welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. There is a brand new film, and it's entitled Wetico, and it's going to be coming out at select Alamo Draft House locations beginning on March 2nd. And joining us right now is the director of that film, kERRY mONDRAGON. kERRY, welcome to the show. First of all, did I get Wetico right? And also, are you a mONDRAGON? Maybe, I don't know, maybe I got them both wrong. Help me out.
Thanks, Rick, for having me on. Halfway there. So it's Wetico. And yeah, thanks for having me on. And my last name, depending on which country I'm in, it's mONDRAGON or mONDRAGON. Yeah, so like if I'm in Latin America, it's mONDRAGON, and here in the U.S. is mONDRAGON.
And in French, that's My Dragon, right?
Yeah, it's actually a Basque name. Yeah, so it's like right there on the border of Spain and France.
Very good. And then your first name is a county in Ireland. Very eclectic.
That's right. I know. I'm just a mix, right?
America. All right. Let's talk about Wetico. This is set in the dense jungles of the Yucatan about a young Mayan man. Tell us about this, please.
Yeah, it's a film I shot a couple years ago during the pandemic. It's about a young Mayan man who gets hired to deliver these hallucinogenic bufo toads to a ritual in the jungle, but it turns out to be run by Western spiritual seekers and sort of influencers, and it's ran by this kind of vampiric cult leader who basically holds them hostage, they're captive there until he either milks the toads for the
poison,
for the powerful hallucinogen, or you have to escape the toads, and it all takes place over like a 24-hour period in the story.
It's very interesting too, because when I was looking on Wikipedia about you, and of course Wikipedia is the burning bush, but when I was looking at that, said that you worked with Spike Lee, but it was interesting. You talk about your influences as Jean Vigo and Rainer Werner Fassbinder. So both of those guys are not big names, but for you, what did those two filmmakers, Jean Vigo and Rainer Werner Fassbinder, mean to you?
Oh man, that's so cool. Such a good question, actually. Well, Jean Vigo definitely. I mean, he kind of established. He only made a couple films. He was kind of he died young. I think he was like an anarchist too. But he did something that inspired me a lot, which was he used non-professional actors, but with actors, and he would shoot on location, but then he added this sort of magical quality to it, like beautiful, like underwater, like mermaid sequences. So kind of defined the magical realism, which is something that's kind of been prevalent. I just finished another film a couple days ago, actually, and it's been throughout all my films. It's been there. And then with Fassbinder, he also died young. He made very prolific, made a lot of films, maybe like 40 or so in Germany, and he the way that he shoots is very similar to the way that I shoot. Very, very like he knows. He kind of edits in his head as he goes, and also his like the way he portrays female protagonists is very.
It's very interesting too. And you took this to Stockholm, right?
Yeah. Originally, we took it to Stockholm as a rough cut, which I learned my lesson on the whole festival thing, which is another whole topic. But basically, we shouldn't have premiered a rough cut at a festival, even though it did well. But it was I didn't know the strategy in it, but it. So we I did the full edit and completed it, and then went to go submit to other festivals. We're like, oh no, you already had your premiere. We're like, oh wait, what? Like, so, but yeah, it played in Stockholm, and it was great. It played like 3 nights there.
I'm always interested in the dichotomy between the native peoples of Central America and the people there now, because in America, I know a lot of white people, we like to say, oh, we're part Cherokee, when mostly we're not. But like a friend of mine growing up with is Mexican, and he'd always say, I got the blood of an Aztec. And then I'd be like, your last name's Gonzalez, you got the blood of the conquistadors in you is what you have.
Yeah,
and so, but I know a lot of people like to embrace that, and it is kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And so I guess with Wetiko going to, I mean, what is sort of the juxtaposition of his native jungle and then kind of going to this eco village?
Yeah, I mean, you mean with the character itself?
Yeah.
I mean, because he is Maya, he speaks Mayan, which is, there's a lot of, it's Yucateca Maya, specifically, but he's also caught up in the city, right? So he's speaking Spanish too, and he kind of has some American cultures kind of bled into it too, with music and fast motorbikes, stuff like that, and then going back into the jungle, essentially back to kind of his roots, where that maybe he's kind of rejected a little bit, and he comes face to face with that. Now it's super interesting because this was a learning thing for me. Is a lot of like you were saying. I mean, a lot of the Catholicism and a lot of from the conquistadors and everything. They all the minds that I spent time with, lived with, they all used a lot of Catholic, like the Virgin Mary as a god. So the crosses, the three crosses, they would hang their repeals, which is like their my addresses on them. So they blended it into their own religion, their own. It's just another god, right? So another gods, and so it is very fascinating. And also just as me having with my identity, which is like, I can, like I said, when I go there, it's mONDRAGON, right? But when I come here, it's mONDRAGON. So it's like I can be, I could be Spanish, Mexican passing maybe out there. I could be white passing out here. It's like a very strange thing, actually. And you don't really know a sense of identity, right? And so, as I've grown, I've got better with that. But yeah, it seems like maybe America in particular is that everybody wants an identity, and especially now there's like identity. So yeah, but so that's kind of.
Well, yeah, we got to run. I just have one real quick question. Do you always direct with your shirt off?
Man, you don't know how hot it was up there. Like, it was so hot and humid. No, I don't.
No, I'm teasing Kerry because that's his Twitter picture. All right, everyone, check out Watico, and as I mentioned, March 2nd, exclusively at Alamo Draft House locations, and I'm sure after that, other places and streaming as well. Kerry, congratulations, man, and let's catch up on the next one.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Rick.
All right, thank you, and we'll come on back on the other side with Dave Brown.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money. And you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624. Hey, airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call, regardless of who booked your airline tickets. We'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. That's 800-915-9654.
I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property.
If you're thinking about calling Rick Tittle, just put down that phone and shut your ugly face.
All right, hey, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast, around the world on American Forces Radio Network. It's our pleasure to welcome Dave Brown to the show, the founder of the Indie Night Film Festival. Dave, welcome to the show, and I think your festival is really cool because you don't have to be super established. You don't have to really be established at all. You just need to make some good content, whether it's a short film, a pilot, a doc, whatever it is, and then get it out in front of industry people, right?
Right, Rick. I mean, first I want to say, Rick, thanks for having me on, man. I mean, it's like anybody I talk to from the Bay Area. I'm from the Bay Area, San Francisco, and I went to high school up there, played basketball up there. So anything, I always like to keep my ties in with the Bay Area, because me being in the industry, in Hollywood, for like.
Let's go ahead. Hey, Dave, you're going in and out. We're gonna try and call you back real quick and get a better connection. All right. All right. Let's do that, Bailey. Let's try to. I thought he was going to say, "Hey, Rick, it's great to be on your show because I'm from the Bay Area, and everybody I talk to says that you're the all-being master of time, space, and dimension." But he said, "Oh, I'm from the Bay Area." Damn it. 1-800-878-PLAY. We got no alibi, and we're trying to get Dave back. But yeah, they even will accept monologues too. And I guess we all have our own movie cameras now, don't we? Our high-def video cameras. Point at yourself, send in a 4K little monologue. There was a man from Nantucket. Maybe that type of thing as well. But, and it's going to be coming, it's in LA, it's going to be coming apparently to Dallas and New York. But I can only imagine, like, when we were doing the Mostly British Film Festival and they get, like, whatever, 4,000 films and they got to get it down to, like, 20. Those are all established. Those are all films that are in the can. How about just looking at all that Indie Fest stuff? All right, apparently this is taking a while. Dave, do we have you back? Hello, Dave.
Rick, I'm right here, buddy.
Yeah, there he is. All right, I'm sorry. You said something about being from the Bay Area. Where are you from in the Bay Area?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Where are you from the Bay?
Yo, I'm from San Francisco. I'm deep in the Bay right there. And actually, my father is Dr. Amos C. Brown from Third Baptist Church, so he's a pillar out there. But, I was raised in the city. I went to Lincoln High School, played basketball. I was one of the pillars in that championship squad that was at Lincoln High School from 84 to 88. And it's like, I guess San Francisco went to college. I left after college and went straight to LA to start my career. And bring back Hollywood to the Bay Area. be the bridge for everybody to get into Hollywood. And I always say, if I can give everybody the blueprint of how to make moves in Hollywood, then it'd be a great thing, because there's a lot of great filmmakers in the Bay, and I like to highlight them.
That's really cool. And just real quick about your dad, I mean, he has roots going back to Dr. King, and he was on the board of supervisors for several years.
Yes.
Wasn't he? Yeah.
Yes, he was. Yes, yes. And, you know, my father is pretty much my rock. And, you know, they say the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. But, you know, he's always been out there to help individuals, whether it be in during civil rights or any, you know, any other situation. He's always been there as one to grasp and hold and give everybody the opportunity to become, you know, that movement in life to where you can become successful, whatever you do. So, you know, I pretty much took behind him, and you know, his is in politics and dealing with, you know, communities and everything. Mine is just in Hollywood, giving the same people the same type of industry movement to where they can become and make movement in the industry.
You know, I interview a lot of people who do film festivals, and they have, like, you know, we looked at 4,000 films and we got it down to 20. So those are already films that are in the can. So I can only imagine how many people come up to you with pilots and docs and shorts and webisodes, whatever. I mean, you must be inundated.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of people that have a lot of stuff, but I always say this, you know, you can picture yourself, coming in the industry, and just say this, coming to Hollywood and being able to be dropped in Hollywood, and you have a script, or you're an actor, or you're a director. You can't just walk into a studio and say, hey, I got a script. Hey, can you put me on? And so it's like, if you can just give everybody the opportunity in that community to say, hey, I have something, this is what I do. And out of say, this is my motto, out of sight, out of mind. How can I put you down if I don't see you? You know what I'm saying? So if I bring everybody in the industry, whether it be in the music industry, in the film, directors, actors, together, then we're able to create a platform where everybody can get to the next level. Now, I'm the first weekly film festival in the United States, you know, and I do it at the TCL Chinese Theater here in LA. And so my motto is, why should you have to wait once a year to be seen, and you miss all this work in between? And so if I'm the guy that just says, hey, I see your talent. You have to, you know, there's a lot of talent out there that just don't know how to get noticed and recognized. And so I've been doing this for 14 years here in Hollywood. And so now I decided to say, hey, it's time to take it on the road. So I've done Indie Night Film Festival in San Francisco, and I've done it in Oakland before, and we talked about it, and they enjoyed it so much. They were like, Dave Brown, can you come back and bring it back again? And now we're going to highlight, you know, Women's Day, you know, which is going to be screening at the, you know, the Grand Lakes Theater in Oakland, giving everybody that platform in the Bay to show your talent on this particular day, because, you know, we want to highlight women in film as well, because there's a lot of people. And, you know, when they had told me that, you know, Ayanna Pressley had a film, who's a great congressman, you know, in D.C., I said, we have to highlight it. We have to do it. We have to let everybody understand and know that it doesn't matter where you are. There's content creators all around. And so when you bring something together, let's highlight it. Let's get everybody out there. Let's have everybody come out and see it. And let's say, hey, if you have an ideal, let's put it up. Because what I do is this. I say, I let everybody become celebrities in their cities. And this is what I'm doing. I'm doing Miami, Atlanta, D.C., Chicago, New York, San Francisco, Houston, Dallas, and Oakland. And what we're doing is this. You become celebrities in your city. And we show and bring everybody out. And the ones that are great, we bring back and show at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood, which it doesn't get bigger than that. And so I always say the common goal is to get to the big screen, so why not start on the big screen? And this is what is like. You'll be amazed of how many people out there have great films or a series. They just don't know how to get it out there. And I'm that bridge for them.
No, it's great. We just got about a minute here. I had Abby Ginsburg, who did that Ayanna Pressley movie. She directed it, and she had such passion for it. It sounds like it's an amazing film. But just one more question here. Like I said, we just have about a minute. But I remember hearing an interview with Ryan Gosling where he said he went to an audition, and he walked in. He said there were 15 guys that looked exactly like me. And then after the audition, everybody found out that the part was already promised to Jared Leto. So when you say, if you can encapsulate this in a minute, but when you say you got this talent, but you got to be seen, it's so hard, especially down in Hollywood. And this, I guess, is one of those rare opportunities that you offer people.
Well, I equivalent everything to basketball because that's what I played. But it's like this, having a team, and everybody wants to try out for the team, right? But it's all about who's going to bring something different. Who's going to bring something to the table that's going to make me say, okay. Because everybody wants to be seen. And even if you don't make it, it doesn't mean it's over. That means you go back, regroup, and bring it back again. And so it's not like you just have one time to spill. You have multiple times to spill, and you keep going because if you understand and you own the craft, Michael Jordan didn't become great if he didn't keep going in that gym and continue shooting. So it's all about people working on the craft. But if you have a platform or a place you can go, then you're going to be great. And it's timing. Everything in life is timing. But what I like to do is give everybody that timing and call everybody down in the industry to see these people. So when they know they have a platform like this, this is what it makes a great situation.
Great stuff. He's saying go strong in the paint. IndieNightFilmFestival.com. Dave Brown, good stuff, man. I can hear the passion in your voice. And let's catch up down the road.
You got it, Rick. Thank you very much. And, yo, I'm going to say Niners, 49ers in the Bay Area. Let's go, baby.
All right, I'm Rick Tittle. Get on back.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund money I get to keep for my family. Smart.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you from Senior Care USA. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. That leaves your loved ones the burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay your family up to $30,000 to help pay for your funeral and other expenses. There are no medical exams. Your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled, regardless of your medical conditions, as long as you make your premium payments. Get up to $30,000 in final expense insurance. Call now for free information. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. That's 800-399-6879.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
There are rich teams and there are poor teams. Then there's 50 feet of crap. And then there's us.
Quit drinking that haterade and bow down to Ricky T, y'all.
All right, thank you for that. Welcome back to the show. Lines are available at 1-800-878-PLAY. Let's go out to Houston with Christian. What's up, Christian?
Nothing much, Rick Tittle. I feel like I owe you an apology for not calling during some key times in the world of sports over the last few weeks.
All right, you can call me whenever you want. It's all good, my man.
I see, but still, I'm just here to talk to you about a couple of things. First of all, I don't know if you seen the news or heard about the news yesterday from out of your end of the country that unfortunately Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount Skydance are possibly combining forces. I don't know. The California Department of Justice saying that they are going to stop that. But let's just say if this does go through, there's a lot of entities that are going to be at play. I mean, I know that a lot of people probably remember those two being separate companies, but let's just face facts here. If those two were to fully combine, what do you think would be, the main focus for a combined company like that as far as the amount of sports coverage that they got?
All right, tell me again, who are the two companies?
Warner Brothers Discovery, TNT.
Okay, and the other one is?
Paramount Skydance, as in CBS.
Yeah, I don't know. You should have a blog or a podcast or a show about this. I've never been I'm not trying to discount what you're saying. I've just never really cared where I get this stuff. I just hate paying extra for it. So my answer would be if it creates more, it's like, I heard last week that the Premier League might form their own streaming service, which I would love because then I could get rid of Paramount Plus and I would get rid of Peacock because that's the only reason I have those. It's just a matter of how it affects me in my wallet. That's what I would probably think. If it means I got to pay more, then I'm against it. It's kind of just as simple as that.
So in other words, in a way, in other words, you enjoy things that are either for free or close to free.
Well, when I grew up, it was before cable and TV was always free, but I am willing to pay to get things on demand, yes.
I understand. Same here.
Yeah.
And also, another thing I want to talk about before I get off and you get on to the rest of your calls is when it comes down to, Mayweather and Pacquiao, and by extension, Rousey versus Carano coming up, as far as what Netflix is planning to show, do you think that the whole Nostalgia Act in combat sports is basically, the reason why people's interest in this stuff is just, not waning, but improving?
It's hard to say because I don't know if it is improving. I mean, you're going to have two 48-year-olds fight, and you're going to have a 48-year-old fight a 61-year-old who weighs 100 pounds more than the other guy. I was just yesterday talking to a guy named Coach Art who's putting on a thing tonight at Rockapulco here in the Mission in San Francisco. It's going to be a lot of smokers and young fighters, and there's just not that. Now, I'm not going to say Tiger Woods because he changed the entire sport, but there's just not that, I don't know, Mike Trout, Steph Curry, Aaron Judge, whatever you want to say. There's just not that guy in boxing in any weight class where we're like, oh my gosh, I got to see him. And so because MMA is so huge, these poor boxing people, I say poor, they're making money, but these boxing people are like, well, I guess Mayweather and Pacquiao can fight again. And then it's like, oh, yeah, all the black guys will root for Mayweather and all the Filipinos will root. And even, I think, you know, they're just playing that up. And I'm sure half the people who are Filipino or African-American are like, you know what? We're not interested. It's like you can't keep throwing
because
this.
they've seen how terrible the first fight was.
Yeah, give us this fight 15 years ago. I'm all over it.
I mean, come to think of it, if that fight would have happened 20 years ago, and I'm sure people would have basically not ended the all-time debate even then, you know?
Yeah.
But still, though, that's all I wanted to talk to you about. I'm sorry I apologize if I didn't call during the Super Bowl and the All-Star Week, because there was so much chaos just going on with people talking about, oh, it's Bad Bunny, this controversial, or, oh, does the NBA All-Star Game need a complete killing or something? I don't know.
And by the way, Super Bowl week, I didn't even take calls. I was at Media Row interviewing like 12 to 16 people a day.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, all this for, what, a 3-hour show?
3-hour show in the mayhem. It was wacky and it was manic and it was sometimes frustrating, but we wouldn't have it any other way. We love being at Radio Row.
Understood. And if I missed anything back, I can always listen back to it on sportsbylineusa.com, wherever I get my podcast. Right.
And your podcast is
Focus Spice Audio, which you can get just about everywhere else you can get Sports Byline USA coverage.
There it is. Thanks for the call, my friend Christian in Galveston County. We appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, Rick. Anytime.
All right, there he is. And lines are open at 1-800-878-PLAY. Now, that is a loyal caller who apologizes for not calling. We love Christian. And in the history of the show, only one professional athlete called my show. He was goaded to, and that was Gio Gonzalez of the A's. He goes, hey, Rick, just wanted to call in and say hi. That was not an act. He is actually a very nice, actually a very nice young man. That was not a act. I remember my late buddy Michael Urban, who pitched in college, took Gio aside one time and said, you know how when you don't get the call and the catcher throws the ball back and you catch it and freeze and stare at the umpire? Don't do that. You're showing up the umpire and he's just going to hate you, and now you're not going to get any calls. And he's like, thanks for telling me, man. Gio Gonzalez, by the way, got a haircut before every start. So basically every 4 or 5 days. Real quick in the rest of this segment, I want to talk about this one little rumor, which I thought was kind of funny. And the trade deadline in the NBA about maybe LeBron James going back to Cleveland. Huh? For a third time? What is he, Ricky Henderson with the A's, Billy Martin with the Yankees? ESPN said there was rampant speculation. Like I say that word, say rampart. Rampant speculation that James is going to return to the Cavs next year. And Cleveland radio declared that if James does play there, if he's going to play at all, it will be in Cleveland. And it got so loud that Donovan Mitchell was being interviewed about it, and he said, well, it would be special to play with him. Now, this is one of the cool things. Remember when LeBron James, I never knew this before, when LeBron James went to the Boys and Girls Club in Akron, and Jim Gray was there, and they said he made $1 million for it. Donovan Mitchell was a little kid at the decision. I had never heard that before. That is pretty cool. So that would be very interesting. I mean, that was 16 years ago, if you can believe it now. But for that to happen, the Lakers are set to create about $50 million in cap space. They want to build around Luka Doncic. LeBron James is 41. He's not part of the long-term plans. Why would he be? He just at the last minute was able to get into his 22nd All-Star game. He's, if not the best, one of the best players in the history of the league. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But if he does play next season, he'd have to go to a genuine championship contender. Cleveland won 64 games last year. They just got James Harden, who broke his thumb. But you got Mitchell, you got Evan Mobley. Now, the Lakers and Cavaliers still have the postseason ahead of them. Maybe some other suitors could emerge, like the rumors about LeBron playing with Steph Curry up here. But could they afford LeBron? It just depends on how generous LeBron wants to be. Would he take a minimum salary, which Cleveland could offer so long as it doesn't trigger the hard cap? Cleveland has 11 players under contract next season, plus they have a first-round pick, which is going to be in the late 20s because it belongs to San Antonio. So that'll take them to 12, and those obligations take the Cavs to about $225 million, around $2 million above the second apron. And that doesn't even include a new contract for Keon Ellis, who they got at the trade deadline, and they want to retain him. Now, some guys could get cut. There's the taxpayer mid-level route. I never know any of this stuff. That's about 5.7. Seems like they keep making up stuff. But because LeBron, as a 10-year vet, 22-year vet, he would have to make even more than that. But there is one easy way, and that's just James Harden. I mean, part of the eagerness to leave L.A. was seemingly because he wanted to get extended, and we don't know if official talks have taken place, but his salary next year is $42.3 million. So Harden could opt out and then re-sign for like 80 over 3, and then that would lower his cap to 25. Then the Cavaliers would have $15 million, and they could give all that to LeBron. And by the way, there are about 12 other non-taxpayer, mid-level, there's all sorts of weird things. And they say, well, you know, if the Nets, if there's a deal and they take on Max Strus and Dennis Schroeder, there's people are trying to get creative in Cleveland. They're trying to get creative to get LeBron back one more time. Now, this would be a time where I wouldn't care. I really did not want him to go back the other time, not just because he ended up being the Warriors in the finals, but because they burned his jersey. And you should not burn a jersey. And then get excited when the guy comes back. You know what I mean? We hate you. We hope you burn in eternal hellfire, bastard. Oh, you're coming back? We love you. It's kind of stupid. All right, let's take a quick break. Come on back on Violent.
Hey, airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or Buy an existing airline reservation. Call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Card Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can pick up your free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. Show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Card Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car for free, and you get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097.
This is a true, sad story for ADT, the leader in home security systems. My favorite dog, Oliver, was stolen from our garage recently. If I had a camera system installed in my home from ADT, I would have known exactly what car possibly pulled up in my driveway and stole my little friend. If I had a security system from ADT, my dog would still be here. I called ADT this weekend, and they're coming out in a few days to install a camera and a new security system. Unfortunately, it's a little too late for me. Listen, protect everyone you love in your family. Call ADT now. Have them come out and give you a quote to install a full security system in your home. Don't let it be too late for you. Call right now.
Paid for by the Security Hotline. 800-361-3491. 800-361-3491. 800-361-3491. That's 800-361-3491.
Like kickboxing, that's my favorite sport. Kickboxing is great. When you think about it, it combines the style and grace of boxing with kicking.
Rick Tittle can usually be found at He Baby Mama House.
Hey, thanks for that, and welcome back to the show. By the way, I don't watch Pat McAfee. It's not on purpose, like I avoid him. But I did see a clip today where I happened to he said that he was so sick of Mel Kiper saying Dante Moore is the best quarterback in the draft. Of course, he's going back to Oregon now. And then he said Dan Orlovsky said that Ty Simpson is the best quarterback. And he was like, I'm sick of the S. We all know it's Mendoza. And then he said, I confronted Dan Orlovsky FaceTime with his wife. I'm sorry, we love you. But I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I only watched one game. And I'll watch some more and I'll have a different take. And I was like, what do you mean you only watch one game? You watch an 8 NFLs. You don't know. You never didn't see Fernando Mendoza national championship. And he basically said, well, and then McAfee says, these guys just say that's to create an S storm. That's all they're doing. They're just trying to create a storm. And I almost wanted to say, yes, Pat, how do you think Stephen A. Smith is a multimillionaire? Do you think if he came on and said something like, I think KD going to the Warriors really is kind of a bad move. KD going to the Warriors is an abomination and a disgrace and a betrayal. Now people are listening. You're just figuring it out now? All right. Let's take a break. Come back, hour 3 on the other side.
Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning. The 2026 NASCAR season enters its third weekend, and for the most part, things are going as well as they have for the sanctioning body in what feels like a decade. 2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports' lawsuit against the sport had been a hovering black cloud in 2025 and was mercifully settled in December. In the months since the court case ended, those on all sides have finally felt comfortable enough to admit what everyone already knew, which was how much of a distraction it was. Owned by basketball legend Michael Jordan and current driver Denny Hamlin, 2311 Racing's most notable driver is Bubba Wallace, but its most valuable driver is a guy named Tyler Reddick. You've probably heard the name recently. He won the Sports Super Bowl, the Daytona 500, 2 weeks ago. And he followed that up by making a mad dash to win in Atlanta last weekend, driving a car which finished the race with no right front fender. The first guy in 17 years to start the season with back-to-back wins. And Reddick's story is one that NASCAR 2311, his manufacturer Toyota, and his own personal representation ought to be forcing more into the conversation of mainstream sports. I think he's got the talent and a story that deserves it. An outgoing personality, Reddick's a 30-year-old, 5'5" redheaded dynamo who's married to the daughter of a former Major League Baseball pitcher with whom he has 2 beautiful kids. His youngest, named Rookie, was born last May. In October, at only 5 months old, Rookie underwent surgery to remove a tumor that was affecting his lungs and chest. Reddick was not only dealing with his professional life coming to an abrupt halt if 2311 had lost the suit, but he was also going out there week after week with his heart wrenching for his family. Thankfully, everything has turned out okay for Rookie, and he's doing well. Same for his father, who never once blamed the distractions for his drop in performance last year. Reddick has brought his career Cup Series win total up to 10, and is back showing the skills and confidence that he had when he made the championship 4 2 seasons ago. Can he open this season with 3 straight wins, which no man has ever done? Well, he's won at 2 unique super speedways to open the season, and on Sunday, Reddick will be driving on a road course in Austin, Texas, which happens to be one of his best tracks. Look, I love talking about Carson Hocevar because Hocevar is a young, polarizing, and exciting driver whose prickly personality provides some extra flavor in NASCAR's mostly vanilla world. But when you have a person like Tyler Reddick, who's on the roll that he's on, I think you need to do a little more to drag the rest of the sports world into the story. I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Soccer season rolls on here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. This is Tyler Levine, host of First Touch, the premier weekly global soccer show across the entire Sports Byline broadcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Simple Radio, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. We're talking English Premier League, Champions League, our picks of the week, and a whole lot more. First Touch on Sports Byline USA Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly. Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it. because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
Rick Tittle knows his sports.
I hate that guy.
I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thanks for that, and welcome back to the show. Thinking when the other night, what was it, Tuesday, when the men's Olympic hockey team, all but 3 of them went to the White House and then the State of the Union, and Trump gave them all McDonald's double cheeseburgers. I don't even know McDonald's had double cheeseburgers. Sound like a double-double or a... No, I guess that's true. They have that. It's not a quarter pounder. And then they filmed him, and they were playing Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue by Toby Keith in the background, which was the song they sang in the locker room, which I had never heard before. But all I would think of was when Trump was president last time, the Clemson Tigers, after that game that I saw them play at the at Levi's, they won the national championship, and Trump was standing in front of the desk there, the Resolute desk, which comes from wood from the HMS Resolute. He had Whoppers, Chick-fil-A, Big Macs, Wendy's, all 4 of those. Once again, Burger King, Wendy's, McDonald's, and Chick-fil-A. The hockey team, double cheeseburgers. Are you more lazy in your second term? Rick, I'm sure President Trump is much too busy to be ordering food. It was part of someone on our staff. And blah, 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 blah. You know, I think it was. I just think whoever would give it to him for free. Not him per se, but just the staffer. Yes, we're having, is this Chick-fil-A? Yeah. The men's hockey team is coming over. Can you send over 50 chicken sandwiches? Yeah, that'll be $398. Oh, no. Gratis? No. Can we get 50 double cheeseburgers? Sure. Free? Yeah, we'll bring them right over. Thank you, Mr. President. One of the hockey teams on the members, I'd be like, just McDonald's. All right, come on back.
Wendy's has a new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion with Girl Scout Thin Mints cookie pieces, rich creamy frost, and a mint chocolate cookie sauce. Which means Girl Scout Thin Mints and Wendy's Frosty, yeah, they're basically best friends now. It's like 2 delicious desserts just high-fived. Snapped a few too many friendship selfies, and then rode a tandem bike down the trending road of mint chocolate Frosty perfection. So, swing by Wendy's and try the new Thin Mints Frosty Fusion.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. It's more rebellion when your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home. As a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work. Real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management. Call right now and get the help you all need.
800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. That's 800-219-2494.
I've got a question for you. Do you want a lower car payment just by making a phone call? You know, most people buy a car and they pay whatever the car dealer says their interest rate is, and they forget about it and make payments. But did you know there is a secret in your contract that allows another company to refinance any car payment to try and lower it? It's true. There is indeed a company out there that knows the ins and, more importantly, the outs on car loans, and they know how to lower your current car payments. It's easy and fast, and you could have a lower car payment next month. Make this free call right now and find out if you could lower your existing car payment. The Car Savings Line right now. The call is free.
Call now. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. That's 800-605-1680.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful, genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome, he's a genius.
I am so excited to be back on the Rick Tittle Show.
Thank you for that, Triumph the Insult Dog. Welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. 11:12 a.m. on a Friday, Pacific time. Time to check in with Carmine Marino from Pro Wagering and talk about the ponies. Carmine, the Gotham Stakes tomorrow at Aqueduct, and Iron Honor is the favorite as we look right now. The 6-horse Chad Brown trained. There are some others that, maybe in with a shout. Crown the Buckeye is the number 3. Also, maybe if you want to get a little tricky with Hammond, the 2-horse. How are you seeing this one, Carmine?
Well, Iron Honor looks like he's good. He could be the Derby favorite now that Ted Knoppy's out. This horse, his maiden debut was amazing. He had an incredible buyer. But this race has 3 horses that I look at that could make some noise. The 1 horse, Balboa, was a Bob Baffert horse initially and is now trained by Russell Brittany. Her husband, Sheldon Russell, will be, Brittany Russell rather, and Sheldon Russell will ride the horse. He's going to have the front end. He'll make some noise because he could hang on. Crown the Buckeye threw in a stinker the last race, and I don't think Crown the Buckeye is good enough to win, but I think he can be part of the gimmicks. And the other horse that I'm looking at that could be dangerous, a 15-1 shot, the 7-horse, exhibition only. This is a horse that could be very, very dangerous.
Well, it's interesting. Crown the Buckeye came in 8th at the Lecomte Stakes at Fairgrounds. Prior to that, was the show horse in the Gunrunner Stake. Why is Crown the Buckeye a 4-1 when it was so bad last time out?
His racing experience puts him in a great position here. He's had a decent career so far. Michael Maker's a trainer, but for me, I think 4-1 is really cheap. I think Balboa will be about 8-9-1. Could make the exotic interesting. When you get a race like this, it's really a lemon race because if the 6 wins, he's going to be 1-5. So you got to try to make lemonade out of this race. And I'm looking at the 7 and thinking, well, that may if he goes off 15-1 or more, that might give me a little bit of a price, and that's why I'm looking for some prices. And I like the 1 and the 7 in the gimmicks. I really think the 6 horse is a monster, and I really believe that. And in fact, for very rarely does Chad Brown have phenomenal 3-year-olds. He has a couple, and this one here looks to be a monster.
The 6 horse, once again, Iron Honor, Manny Franco in the Silks, won his 6th debut furlong at Aqueduct. Very, very fast speeds as well. Quarter mile should be okay as well. You know, you mentioned Balboa, the 1 horse, 2nd in the Jerome Stakes, which was a flat mile at Aqueduct. 3rd behind Paladin, which Paladin I know is another Kentucky Derby prospect. That was in the Remsen. That was at 1 1/8. So your thoughts here on the Gotham Stakes, once again, just a mile.
And Paladin is Chad Brown's other horse, and right now he's the Derby favorite. So Chad Brown is loaded for bear. I really think this 6 horse is a monster. Balboa is going to make noise, especially at a mile, because he's got good speed. The question is, can he extend that speed to 1.25 miles on the first Saturday in May? But I'm telling you, this 7 horse is dangerous.
You know,
eliminational exhibition only.
I was talking to you last week, and you said sometimes people put these horses in and just cross their fingers. The 4 horse, you know, which is only fitting that the name is 4th and 1 and the 4th horse, lost by 32 lengths at the Withers. It's a 20-1. Lost by 32 lengths. I think I can run that fast.
I can sit there and tell you this horse could go. This horse wins the race, he's going to pay $100. I mean, honestly, I think if Brown owns New York, this 6 horse, I tell you, Iron Honor looks like he's every bit a great horse. But I got to tell you, tomorrow's going to be some great racing. I mean, you got the Fountain of Youth, and then Sunday you got the Rebel Stakes. There's some real good horses racing. I'm really excited about the Fountain of Youth as well, if you're interested to talk about it.
Yeah, let's get into it. Who do you like at Fountain of Youth?
This is a race where a lot of people are looking at many horses. You got Jackson Hole, you got Commandment, you got Napoleon Solo, and Napoleon Solo has the speed. If he can extend the speed, he reminds me so much of Seattle Slew, the 77 Triple Crown winner. Okay, you have another horse in the 6 horse, which is Chief Wallaby. Chief Wallaby is the horse I'm really looking at that could be dangerous. I love the connections. You got Junior Alvarado, Billy Sovereignty last year. This could be a very special horse. To me, this is the best Derby prep of the year so far, because I look at 5 horses in this race that could definitely be competitive. And the other one you got to look at is the 10 horse. Solitude Dude.
Yeah, the 10 horse here, Solitude Dude, Flavian Prat, Asafi Joseph horse as well, and undefeated. That's not too bad.
No, you got a couple horses in this race that are undefeated. You got Jackson Hole, undefeated. I mean, this is Napoleon Solo. Napoleon Solo is a screwball. That last race, the Champagne, was a guerrilla attack. That was unbelievable. It's interesting. What's interesting about the Solitude Dude, this is a sports star with a different jockey. He's 3-0 with 3 different jockeys. Could he make it 4 straight? And that's the difference. That's what's scary, is this is a great horse. I love the connections. But I'm going to tell you right now, I am looking at the 6 and the 7. I'm excited about Napoleon Solo because of the fact that he could be a very dangerous speed dual animal. I mean, I'm hoping this is another Seattle Slew horse, not the most expensive purchase. And I love Junior Alvarado. I think he's a great jockey. He's the most underrated jockey in America. And Billy Mott, what a connection. And Chief Wallaby. I think that's going to be my exact on a 1-6 or 7-6, excuse me. I really like those 2 horses.
Of course, Napoleon Solo, Robert Vaughn, the man from U.N.C.L.E. I got one more question for you, and this is almost like a joke, but way out at 11 at the Fountain of Youth is a 50-1 shot, and the name, why would Olga Diaz name her horse this? Lost Money, 50-1. That's got to be a joke.
You know what? Talk about a jinx. You're talking about a sport where everybody's looking to make money. Oh, we got lost money. They turned for home. You're going to lose all your money on lost money. I mean, oh, my God. Oh.
What would be...
Don't forget.
Yeah.
The fourth horse commandment.
Yeah.
That's another one. That's Brad Cox. This is a very, very good animal as a closer, and this has got a lot of speed. That's a horse to look out for. I mean, this is by far and away a very competitive race, a very good betting race. You got 5 wonderful horses along with the rest of the field that I believe will shape this race up very interestingly in the 14th race tomorrow at Gulfstream Park.
Yeah, I saw that Commandment is getting all the attention as one of the best horses coming out of Florida this year.
Maybe. We'll see. And the other thing to remember, to factor this in, it's going to rain. Supposedly it's going to rain. If the rain comes in, that changes everything. Now in Florida, when it rains, speed usually holds up big time. Napoleon Solo, Robert Vaughn. Oh, look out.
All right.
Now, Ilya Kuriaka may show up. You never know.
Carmine Marino with Pro Wagering. Have a good, busy weekend, my friend.
God willing, it'll be a very successful one. You have a good one, too. We'll see you next week.
All right, great stuff. I'm Rick Tittle. We open lines on the other side at 1-800-878-PLAY.
Who's watching me?
If you've got a property that you've been trying to sell and you've tried almost everything, I want to tell you about something that you haven't tried yet. You're going to think this offer is too good to be true, but it's not. Thousands of customers have sold their homes in any condition with Need to Sell My Home. This is a real opportunity from a highly rated company that buys homes all over the country. Did you know it's possible to sell your home right over the phone with no real estate commissions and no pesky open houses? Plus, every offer is a cash offer with no mortgage holdups. To find out how much you can sell your home or property for, call now. Take 5 minutes of your time and call for this 100% free quote to sell your home.
800-430-0674. 800-430-0674. 800-430-0674. That's 800-430-0674.
With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new CareWatch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The CareWatch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. The CareWatch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. Call us to get your CareWatch right now.
800-853-8931. 800-853-8931. 800-853-8931. That's 800-853-8931.
Special alert for consumers struggling to pay taxes. There are new tax regulations, not published yet. We have the inside track on your new tax savings. These programs are designed to help struggling taxpayers like you. The COVID relief programs are gone, but there are new programs to help struggling taxpayers, and we have the inside track. Call now and we'll take you through these new programs. These taxpayer savings programs have never been available until now. Get out of tax trouble now. It doesn't take weeks. It can happen in one phone call. Call now and get the inside track to get rid of your tax problems.
Call the tax helpline now. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. That's 800-949-0039.
I gotta go to college. I gotta.
Danny, this isn't Russia. Is this Russia? This isn't Russia, is it? I don't think so.
Rick Tittle ain't the man. Rick Tittle who the man is, and he slapped his white fanny.
Thank you for that. Coming up in the next segment, we'll have Quentin Lake, the starting safety for the Los Angeles Rams, who just signed a $42 million extension. Good for him, a former 6th-round pick. We'll talk to him. All right. As we're getting to the quote-unquote second half of the NBA season, and talking yesterday about what an amazing job Joe Mazzulla done with the Celtics, Jason Tatum. Well, could he come back? He tore his Achilles 9 months ago. It was May. And that means there's kids in England would say, a gap year. But here we are now, and there are hints that he could come back soon. He practiced with their he took part in 5-on-5 scrimmages. There's a world where the Celtics could make a deep run without him. Could they have him? Now, I understand that doctors for professional athletes are better than for the rest of us. And I can remember when I broke my collarbone, the only time I got hurt playing college sports, I was a football player as well. And believe me, I got, quote unquote, hurt every day. Ankles twisted, contusions, and big purple bruises. But I mean, like broken bone wise. It was lacrosse was the only time I broke my collarbone. But the bell to pull my shoulders back, it was a compound fracture. I mean, it was in 2 pieces. That doesn't necessarily mean poking through the skin. It just means 2 pieces. And it had to fuse back together. It'll probably be a full year before you get complete free movement again. But sleep on your back for it sucked. It really sucked. And then I remember Aaron Rodgers was with the Packers, and he broke his and he was playing in the NFL in a month. Single month. Right? And I was like, what the hell kind of did he have? But even guys like KD, remember his Achilles, and he came back again. And if I'm the Celtics, there is no way to let Jason Tatum come back. Didn't even let him work out with the G League. Might be some dopey dude who steps on him or something. But, now Steve Kerr always says there's no 80%, 90%, 70%. You either can play or you can't. And I admire that about him. He says, if you're dressed, then you can play. If you're not, then you can't. Well, we know that's not necessarily true. Guys are 50%, and you don't want to, say 38 minutes. But what if, because of these new doctors, or I should say doctors for rich people, not just rich people, millionaire people, that what if he is 100%? Yikes. But then stay in that division and look a little south to New York. And what do we exactly have in the Knicks? Because going into the All-Star break, they won 10 out of 12, and even though they're kind of just outscoring teams, they're not playing a lot of big defense, but they brought in Jose Alvarado, Chon, who fell out of the rotation in San Antonio. But, think about how Derek White, the Celtics got him from San Antonio to play defense, and then he turned into like their best three-point shooter on the team when he's playing with Tatum and Brown. I think I'm not waiting. In New York, they're waiting for KAT to sort of find his range. This is the worst shooting season of his career. But he had an amazing season cleaning the glass. And so that's why it's weird that the defense is worse with Jalen Brunson on the court than Karl Anthony Towns, when Brunson's supposed to be a great two-way player, but he's been up too. I mean, before the break, he had 240 pieces, but he was 0 for 8 the other day in that loss to Detroit from three-point range. Look, no one's question that Brunson is now a star and offensively a really good player too. But the real question is largely extension, but I mentioned the New York just not playing great D, is if Karl Anthony Towns doesn't get his offense going, I don't think, the last month of the season plus, they're going to be doing much. But I'm more concerned to the West because I'm a Warriors fan, and look, Warriors, there's not much to look at. I mean, when you see a lineup starting with Quentin Post, I call him QP doll. Get it? I think you have to be 100 to get that. Probably. QP doll. Cracking myself up. Pajemski, Spencer. Is this what I'm paying? Will Richard got like 27 minutes and had 0 points. I mean, you look at the Lakers. Can they jump in? Can the Spurs jump the Thunder? I think we've talked enough about tanking in the last few days. We should talk more about teams that are actually trying to win. But just think about Dallas. If they had won their last game and been out of the lottery last year, they wouldn't have got Cooper Flagg. With their 1.4% chance of getting that top pick. The biggest story to me in the entire NBA is that Detroit is the 1 seed in the East. This is a team that reinvented losing. And Kate Cunningham, the number 1 overall pick, turns out he wasn't that great. Oh, no, turns out he's an MVP candidate. Yeah, it's nuts. But, New York hanging around as the 3 seed, 4 seed, 5 seed. They'll be a 3 or 4. New York and Cleveland will figure out which one's the 3 and which one's the 4. And then they'll have playing games, and you'll probably have whoever, Miami or Atlanta playing Boston and Detroit, which would mean New York and Philly. Wouldn't that be great? Have those. That would be a first-round matchup worth watching. But then again, I mean, San Antonio, you just think about what happened with when Wemby got going, and if they get De'Aaron Fox and they draft Stephon Castle, and it's like, oh, wow. Thank you, Sacramento, for De'Aaron Fox. And the champs are the best team in basketball, only a game and a half ahead. And Oklahoma City doesn't have to worry about anybody else because Houston and Denver are at least 7.5 games back there as well. But the Lakers, to avoid that play-in game and hold on to that 6th seed, they need to hold off the Suns, who are only a game behind, 2 back in the loss column, but a game behind in the standings. And I don't think Luka is going to take it away. Now, I think we kind of figured out who the playoff teams are and the play-in teams, because Phoenix is 7, Golden State 8, Portland 9, Los Angeles, the Clippers are 10. So Phoenix, Warriors, Blazers, Clippers are your play-in teams. And that could be the Lakers. And if Minnesota kind of goes bad, it could be them too. But it's either going to be Phoenix or the Lakers in this with those other three. And then outside of that, Memphis 11th, and they are 5.5 behind the Clippers. And they are 9 games behind the Warriors, who are 3 over. So the Warriors are going to be a play-in team. They're not going to be the 6th seed. I mean, they're 3.5 behind that. They're just not good enough. They don't have everybody that they need for that right now. And that's why when you think about, well, why didn't the Warriors make a big move? One hope we had out here was that they would get Giannis, and they ended up with Porzingis, who played the first game, did well without Curry, and then the next game he was out because he was sick. It wasn't even an injury. And I'm not saying he was sick, but the guy just doesn't play, and he's a rental anyway. So it's kind of humdrum right now around these parts. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little football with Quentin Lake right here on Sports Byline.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you could add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money. And you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624. Hey, airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do you do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647.
Have you suffered sports betting losses? There is someone who wants to fight for you to see you get back what you have lost to sports betting companies. Michael Watts is a prolific trial lawyer with over $11 billion in total recoveries for his clients. And now with SportsBettingClaim.com, he'd like to help you. Michael has been a leader in some of the largest and most complex cases in the country, from defective cars and tires to damaging drugs and medical products. He has always represented the rights of individuals harmed by large corporations. His efforts recently resulted in the recovery of billions for individuals who lost their properties in fires carelessly caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulated consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you have suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at SportsBettingClaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. SportsBettingClaim.com.
Teams have 4 attempts to move the ball 10 yards. So if you see a graphic on your screen that says first and 10, that means it's the team's first attempt to get 10 yards.
You must be crazy. Use a DOG. And if you was my man, I would have been kicked you out of my house by now. This is what had happened.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to Sports Byline USA, coast to coast, border to border, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. It's our pleasure to welcome to the show defensive back for the Los Angeles Rams, Quentin Lake. Quentin was part of the little ceremony they had, the handoff from the Super Bowl up here at Levi's in Santa Clara, going down to his home stadium at SoFi Stadium down there in Inglewood. Quentin, welcome to the show. What was that like, the little handoff? Was it, I mean, I'm sure it was cool. Was it kind of weird in a way? It was like, I don't want to jinx it too.
Yeah, and thank you for having me on. But it was a little bit different. As athletes, you don't really get to participate necessarily around people like that all the time. And for me, it was on short notice. There wasn't a lot of time for me to prepare. There wasn't a lot of time. I had gone up to San Francisco just to do some media stuff and kind of participate in all the events that go on during Super Bowl week. And luckily, someone in Players Affairs had asked me, "Hey, are you going to be Are you going to be there throughout the whole week up into the game?" I said, "No. Hey, I'm heading back." They came back to me and said, "Hey, just think about it." And I thought about it over the next couple of days while I was in San Francisco. I said, "Hey, it could be a great opportunity." And at first, I wasn't going to speak. I wasn't going to speak. I was just going to be there and just get a participation trophy. But then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? It's probably a good opportunity for me to speak in front of, all these amazing people. And it was awesome. And I don't necessarily think it was a jinx or anything like that. I more so just see it as a blessing, really, for the organization to even want me to do that. I think it shows a lot in terms of myself and also them trusting in me to be able to go up there and speak and represent the organization.
Very cool. I know you're a modern day guy, and I went to, in the 70s and 80s when I was playing high school football, I was at Salesian High up here in Richmond, and right when I was graduating, De La Salle got Coach Laddiser, and then they started on their thing. So then when I played football at St. Mary's College, D2, I played with guys from Mater Dei and Servite. Those were like powers. So what was it like going to Mater Dei when you did, and that kind of the looking north at De La Salle, like who's the top Catholic school in the state type of thing?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, Mater Dei it was great. It felt like college in high school. I was surrounded by guys that were just really, really good at what they did, and really all the sports that we had there. And even now to this day, besides the athletics, it was really the brotherhood and the people that were there. I mean, some of my really, really good friends are still from high school, are still from guys that I played on the football team, or just people in general that I met in high school. So it was an awesome experience. And then obviously you look at California in terms of the talent level of football players. You mentioned it too, De La Salle, St. John Bosco. I mean, last year who won the open division in football was Santa Margarita. So there was a ton of talent across the Trinity League. So it was awesome to play at Mater Dei and just be at the school, enjoy it, have fun, and then obviously get the opportunity to play in college.
Coming out of UCLA, 6th-round pick. It was awesome to get picked, but 6th-round picks don't usually end up signing really nice extensions 4 years later. Congratulations on that. I know you just signed it last month. What's that like, knowing that you went through the grind and the pup list and everything else and shown that, I'm not a nickelback. I can be single high. I can be a strong safety, wherever you need me, to the point now where you're definitely part of the Rams' present and future?
Yeah, it was awesome. The biggest thing I wanted to just show the organization was, I wanted to show my value. And I felt like if I had the ability to know all the different positions, know all the whole defense as a total, and really being able to, communicate on a high level, know where I'm supposed to be, uh, do all the things right. At the end of the day, it was just how can I separate myself when I get in between the white lines? How can I make sure that when the film's on and the coach is watching film, they highlight me? Am I hustling? Am I always prepared? Am I, anticipating things in the right way? Um, and I got and I'm grateful that the Rams took a chance on me. They believed in me. And then I look at where I'm at now. I'm like, man, this is awesome. A hometown kid, a guy that's, been in California for his whole life, but stay in the same city. And obviously for them to sign me again, it was just, it's amazing.
When I was in college and Terry Donahue was there, UCLA was one of the true blue bloods. And so, of course, with USC changing, everybody changed conference outside of Oregon State and Washington State. So it's new times, obviously. But there were a couple games this year where you looked at the Rose Bowl and you're like, man, what's going on with the Bruins? Well, now you got Bob Chesney. It looks like everything's heading in the right direction with the recruiting. How about Bruins football this year?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think Coach Chesney is going to do a great job. Obviously, had a really good tenure at I think it was James Madison. So for him to bring that type of mindset and mentality over to UCLA, I think that's exactly what we need. And then obviously you just have the city of LA backing you. So it's going to be great. I'm going to try and make it out to a couple games. But we've kind of been in a slump for the past couple of years. It hasn't looked too good, even some of the years that I was there too. But I'm excited for it. I have full faith and belief, and I'm always rocking with my Bruins.
How about Jake Bobo, your boy in the Super Bowl, huh?
Yeah, that was awesome. Rooting when we were playing against him, I wasn't rooting for him, but some individuals I root for. I'm not gonna say I root for the whole team, but guys that I know and that I got to talk to. I didn't get to play with Jake, but I definitely, when I was around, he was around too. When I was either training at UCLA and other things like that. So it was, it was awesome to see him and Charbonnet, a guy that I played with. Two really good football players, and it was cool to see them, all the hard work and effort put in during the season for them to, able to get a ring.
Well, talk about being in the best division in football. You got the Super Bowl champs, the Niners, even with all their injuries, won double-digit games. They're looking to get healthy again. You have the MVP. Arizona probably needs a couple more years, but what about just being? I mean, that's at least 6 games that are super tough, and that's even in your own division. I guess you and Coach McVay, everybody there, probably relishes the challenge, right?
Yeah, we love the challenge. It is consistently, I think everybody knows this, our division, especially this last year and probably the upcoming years too, because, our division is the toughest division in football. You look at, we had the MVP, 3 teams in double digits, all made the playoffs. We're able to win games in the playoff. Like, our whole division, if what it looks like our division is going to be, Super Bowl favorites for a good amount of years. You got guys coming back on the 49ers that were hurt. I mean, they were decimated with injuries. They didn't even have their fully loaded team, and guys are going to come back. And then obviously you had the, reigning Super Bowl champs in the Seahawks, and you have us, a team that for the most part of the season was the favorite. So it's a high-power division, but we love the challenge. There's no greater thing than playing high-level football in the NFL. And when you get into those games, it's, who either sinks or who swims. And that's the message that we get from that is just be yourself. But at the same time, you have to demand excellence. That's, as well.
Just a couple more questions for you. And I was a free safety in college, and I always wanted them to call safety blitzes, and they almost never did. How fun is it for you that you have more sacks than picks? I mean, that's got to be kind of fun.
It's It's crazy, huh? I think, just the position that I play now and kind of the landscape of the league is going into guys that can kind of do it all. I hope to get, some more picks in the upcoming future. But at the same time is how can you be disruptive? Our game is all about disruption. It is all about how can I, as a player, mess up timing and make it a muddy read for the offense. Just wreak havoc when you go in there. And that's what I try to do, whether it's in coverage, whether it's in zone, man, blitzing, and luckily I have I have the opportunity to do a lot of that stuff on a consistent basis, which I love, and they put me in positions to do that. So, yeah, it's been, I feel like I am really a versatile player, and I really just have only been scratching the surface. Last year was a good year, but I think, my best ball is to come.
All right, great stuff. Last question for you. I mentioned the Bruins, and it looks like they are going to stay in Pasadena one more year. They do want to get down to your pro stadium. What do you think of that? I mean, I guess it would be easier for you to go to games if they're playing at SoFi, but do you have an opinion on all that?
I hope they would have stayed, or at least they were going to make a effort to stay in the Rose Bowl. I mean, it's just such a historic stadium. I know it's far. I understand it's far for a lot of students, but I think about it like this: SoFi is not easy to get to either. There's probably more traffic going down, depending on when the game is, than going up to Pasadena in some occasions. So, and then you got three teams. You got three teams in SoFi, which is just like damn. That's a crowded arena right there. At the end of the day, I love playing in the Rose Bowl. It felt great. When the sunlight hits, or when you're playing in when the sunset is at the Rose Bowl, it's a beautiful stadium. SoFi, it's great. Obviously, that's my home stadium now, so I have a lot of love for SoFi too. But when I was playing at UCLA, I love the Rose Bowl. At the end of the day, if it were up to me, I'd have a stadium on campus at UCLA. I'd turn Drake Stadium into like a football stadium plus a track field, but that's for the higher ups, and probably the residents of Bel Air would be like, absolutely not, because there would be a traffic issue. But that's just my 2 cents on that. But it's been awesome. I hope more fans. Obviously, it comes with winning games. As long as we win games, fans will show up. So we have one successful season, and probably the next season you'll see more and more and more people show up, because there's a lot of UCLA. There's a lot of people that love UCLA in general. It might not just be football, but just in general, UCLA fans are out there in LA. And as long as we win games for football and make it a cool experience for fans to come see them play, we'll fill up that stadium wherever it's at.
There he is, Quentin Lake, Los Angeles Rams, number 37. It's a pleasure having you on, Quentin. Best of luck next year, my man.
Thank you so much, and likewise, too. Best of luck.
All right, good stuff. I'm Rick Tittle. We'll take a quick break, and we will come on back on Sports Byline.
Hey, airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. Now you can make one phone call regardless of who booked your airline ticket, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. Show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Card Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097. Keep listening for details on how to get up to $300 airline credit. Sky Holidays introduces a one-of-a-kind air credit program. Our buying team got a little too aggressive in getting hotel and air deals, so now we have to liquidate our prices. Here's how. Whether you want to go to Paris, Las Vegas, London, Atlanta, Hawaii, or anywhere else in the world, we have amazing deals. Book a selected hotel and we'll give you up to $300 airline credit. Now you can book your vacation and get a free credit to use towards airline travel. We'll book both, airline and hotel, with one simple phone call. We have access to most airlines and deals on thousands and thousands of places to stay. Call right now, book your hotel rooms, claim your airline credit. You can change or modify it at any time. 800-256-4816. 800-256-4816. That's 800-256-4816.
What would you say you do here?
Well, look, I already told you. I deal with the customers so the engineers don't have to. I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand it? What the hell is wrong with you people?
Tittle will fight anyone listening to this.
All right, thanks for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. Fernando Mendoza is supposed to be the number one overall pick, and by the, I almost said Oakland Raiders, ouch, tears. But he was asked at the Combine, well, you know, that's going to be Tom Brady's team. What do you think about playing for Tom Brady, and what do you admire about him? Mendoza said, I would say his system and his discipline, the way he has a system, the TB12 method. I've already read the book. Everything that he's all about is something that I've always emulated as a football player. And anything the coaching staff has as coaching points, like, hey, Fernando, we need you to get better at this, this, and that. I'm going to be like, hey, Tom, how do I get better at this, this, and that? If I get selected by Mr. Spytek and the Raiders, if that does happen, it'd be a great opportunity. But any team I get drafted by, I look forward to utilizing their former quarterbacks as well. Well, he always says the right thing, but actually you don't want to do that with the Raiders. You don't want to talk to their former quarterbacks. The whole reason you're coming in is because we want you to stay away from the other quarterbacks. All right, have a good weekend, and we will